meeting. We can start now. This will be probably a small meeting today. There are only a few of us. So welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is the 15th of July 2026, and my name is Adam Rosman, and I will be your host today. We skip introductions. Please remember that the meeting is recorded. If you would like to have the project with contributions or create issues, that you can do by creating issues, and you can help us by either contributing to issues with good first issue or have wanted label, or creating such issues. If you think that your organization would be supportive of publicly acknowledging the adoption of MetaCube, then you can do that by editing the adopters.md file in the root of the community repo and pushing the PR, same way as others have done, and extend this table, and that help us gauge the level of adoption. If you think that you are experiencing test failures that are not related to your pull request, or related to your pull request but you don't know why they are happening, then please create an issue, link that issue to the MetaCube CI tracker project, and then we can much better track it for future reference. And if you are interested about any other resources or ongoing projects, then please feel free to check these links, and you can find a lot of useful resources. And that's all about the reminders. We can continue with the working group updates. I see Dimitri commented nothing from scalability perspective. I don't think people did anything with scalability at the moment in my vicinity. It's mostly security work and similar stuff. So I guess we can skip those. When it comes to artifacts, I might be able to again get back to the IPA pipeline work. Let's see. And then the LFX mentorship is progressing very well. There have been now multiple pull requests, and I think I linked it last week. This UI stuff, yeah. So I think from this point onward, it's easier if everyone just checks the location and what has been merged so far, because I know there are quite a few pending pull requests, but yeah, I see that there are more screenshots, and as I understand, there will be much more going forward, especially when we have the map view. So that's progressing, and as far as I know, there will be a presentation about the headlamp UI for MetaCube very soon in this meeting. So I think that's also something that people might be interested in. I hope next week it will happen. Okay, and I see you are commenting to the artifact stuff related to the OCI image format support.
Yep, we have a bit of an argument there, so more input and probably useful. I'm gonna come back to your comments as well soon. Just need to handle other stuff.
Yeah, okay. I have read your comment, Dimitri, this one, and you said that you will have more. Okay, I haven't read yet this from you, Nicholas.
And for information, I did this design proposal more like to support a new way, not for it to be the final way, because I think like the two artifact thing directly managed by Ironic would be the best forward, but there's a world where we have a gap between the two, and so this is more like this gap that I'm trying to fill with this one, like when we do not have the ability to use whatever Ironic will have, and but we still want to progress on the OCI side.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't mind having several ways of specifying the OCI source for downloader, to be honest. I'm mostly upset we don't support the one that is symmetric with Ironic. And yes, we need to fix using tags. I agree with that. Try to remember to do that. Ironic, for better or worse, accepts a kernel and initramfs as separate URLs. So it's going to be beneficial if we do support that. We can support more things on top of that, sure. If it's convenient, let's use whatever. I like you guys. I'm happy to help. But it would be unfortunate if we have two entirely different ways that are not compatible with each other.
From my part, I am fine if we, even if we have just two separate OCI images, one for kernel, one for the intramfs. Fine if we use one and then separate it and use this container as init container and copy them to the final location. Only thing I'm worried is the complexity, but maybe we are doing it a little bit in a more complicated way than necessary from the POC, but I understand, like the POC is just a POC, it's not a final implementation. Well, anyways, I think the three of us will have to continue discussing this. I don't know who else will join. And I might have to again reread this one to just understand again that what are the pain points here. Like is there something we don't? Yeah, I will just continue the discussion. I don't think we have to discuss it now in this meeting. Okay. Let me check the chat or if someone has joined. Yeah, not really. Okay. Next point is the mentorship. There you've probably seen some activity. If you have a moment, please give some feedback to the mentee who asked on the Slack channel about use cases or about opinions. If you have some time or opinions, I think that would be very helpful for him. And then release team and the roadmap. I just thought it's a kind of a good idea to highlight this. I don't know if this was highlighted on community meetings, but I know from the release team that they decided to go ahead and introduce code freeze for going forward because we had during the last release cycle a bit of a back and forth. They wanted to release, and there were still some PRs that were hanging around and were important. So now there is an actual code freeze date for the August. It was in the cycle 114 document or issue for a long time, but I thought I will just highlight it here. Do you foresee any issue with that, or how do how do you feel the introduction of this code freeze for the miner? Or has any of you discussed it with team members? I know, Ricardo, you are on the release team. I don't know if you talk with the other release team members.
I was actually going to say that it's the first time I see that. I think it's okay. I mean, to align with the next release, for example, for Ironic Image and Urso, it should be totally fine because the plan, if we like going back to the right schedule, we will have a new release for that end of July, beginning of August. So that's perfect timing, I guess.
I was also thinking that this wasn't specified when I didn't ask when this came up the first time, but I would think that this wouldn't be that strict or well, it wouldn't necessarily apply for IRSO and Ironic Image because.
Oh no, I was not saying that. I was not saying that it applies to, but it's just the timing of the release that it like perfectly align with the next IRSO and Ironic Image. Just that.
Yeah. I understand. I'm just trying to reassure you that.
Okay, no, I understood. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
I would not be totally against adding code freeze also for the rest of the projects, by the way, but it's actually a bigger discussion. We need a bigger discussion for that.
Yeah, in the future that could be also kind of a good topic to discuss. That we would have two of these freeze periods, one for the IRSO Ironic and one for the Kubernetes native stuff, or the IRSO is native, but it relies on the Ironic Image release much more than on the Capi or the Kubernetes stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I will even like add it here as a discussion topic, or just a reminder for the future. Yep. Okay. Any other questions, comments related to the release team? Next week there will be patch releases. Almost, I think all the components have dependencies that are being bumped or have been bumped, and we have accumulated quite a lot of like supply chain alerts or vulnerabilities when it comes to the supply chain of the currently supported release branches. So I hope we can do that, and I got a promise that it will be done next week. So hopefully we will have a bit more fresh patch releases. Okay, so then discussion topics. Yeah, please take a look. This is kind of what I mentioned last time when I was talking about watermark. Little bit of like improvement on how we handle labeling on the Ironic Image, because I had some 4 years bad experience when I'm trying to help people adopt this image, and then they patch it and they modify something, and they don't know which version of Ironic they install inside the image, mess up something in their pipelines, whatnot. So now, like the TLDR is that we will have these two labels on the image that actually show the version of the source code that is installed in this git described format. And I think that's a good enough approximation of a version, much more useful than, in my opinion, than a giant git sha hash dangling there. And then, yeah, and then one more thing that's important related to this is that there will be a bit of a modification for the standard OCI labels. That we provide this image version on all the images, but I will look into it. But I glanced over it and I noticed that it's basically just copying the tag, which is not really the image version. If we just copy the tag. So I will most likely do something with that too. And then I will also introduce image revision, which will be the commit of the commit hash of the specific commit that was that had the Docker file and that was built. Because I think right now these are a little bit messed up. We don't use revision at all, and then image version is just a tag. So I will sort those out, but those will be applied simultaneously to all the images via the reusable workflow. So those don't require changes on the individual images. Yeah. And then one other thing, actually today I learned about this and partially why I made the script standalone is that there are now tools that can detect like higher order supply chain security problems, meaning that they check the dependency of the dependency of the dependency. They go down the chain and make like a graph database of it and whatnot. And those tools had a terrible time with Ironic Image, or actually one specific tool that colleagues have tested, because it was unable to figure out that what are the versions that are relevant. So it was throwing a billion false positives. But I told those folks to use this script. They can run it on its own in standalone way, and maybe this will help also with like security scanning with those tools. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say about this labels. I don't know if there is any question, or I have seen that there is an approve on it. It's not really a complicated change.
I left one question in there. What format do the labels use? Because you kind of use an annotation format, but the standard ones follow the reverse host format. I really don't care, just as long as we don't violate some standard expectations about the formats. I like yours more, but we have prior art, I guess.
Yeah, so that I actually don't know, because these were in this format. I'm fine with this format, but this is like the OCI, like these individual key values. They are all in the standard. Like this full name is in the standard like this. But I didn't see, or at least I haven't checked, to be honest, that is there any sort of expectation for the custom ones, because these are not custom ones, these are the standard ones. But I have no idea if there is any expectation for a custom one. I didn't check, to be honest. I will check. Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just making sure the conversation happens.
I guess I will change it for sake of consistency, because really, like, there is nothing to lose, and there is no particular reason for the slash. One thing that I learned or got reminded when I was doing this, sadly, for the other components, the revision cannot be established that easily if whatever is used as a base for the build is coming from the main branch or branched out from the main branch, because we started doing proper tagging on the release branches for most components, and not on the main. So we are not in the situation like the Ironic and the NGS source code, that there are nice tags on the main, and both on the main and on the release branches. But we only have the nicely done tags on the release branches, and main. I think I checked Capentry or something. It was, or BMO, and on the main, the last tag was like some weird ancient version from 4 years ago or something. So there I might utilize the GitHub client and check project level latest tag, and then I might use that as a base, or we might have a discussion that should we have tags on the main also, even retroactively we could introduce them or start introducing them for just the supported releases, so that we would tag on the main where the supported release was branched out from the main perspective. I don't know yet what would be the good way to do it for this standard version and revision values.
So are you using ironic image version or ironic version?
So this image version will be ironic image version. Like that's we have now, and that will be in this format, like this org open containers image.version and image.revision. And those will look into this ironic image repo and what it contains, and that will be managed by the reusable workflow. And I think also on ironic image, we have the tags only on the release branches, same as on all other repos. If I go here, 35. Where is this? Yeah, I don't think this is. Yes, I think this was ever introduced only to the main branch. Oh, to the release branch. So that I don't know. I don't know. Would you be against introducing some format of tags on the main? Like the same tags, basically pairs of these. The ones I mean that are like actually roots of branches.
Do you really need tags, or do you? I put some ideas in the chat how I could compose versions, but keep in mind, even on stable branches, you still face the problem that you build containers when they do 3 commits of the last tag. So you still have to have something like 3701 plus def2, or whatever format you use. That's a format Python uses sometimes. So you have to have some logic on detecting, okay, we are 2 commits from that tag. And I wonder if we just do on main essentially a similar artificial release versions where we say, okay, the last branch point was 37, so we number this 37.99.45, where 99 is just a marker that it's a main branch after 37, and 45 is a number of commits, something like this, just to think about. Then you don't need to bother with tagging.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. and that's what Git described as, almost in the exact same format what you shared. It's a bit different. It's not def something. But it has the last tag, and then your distance from the tag, and then your hash. So all these things are there, but that figures it out based on what tags you can find on that given branch. So if it finds your like the last like I commit 37 and you have 3 commits ahead, it will create you this nice format or the version in this nice format. I might will put in the chat what format it is, but it's almost exactly like what you shared with the Python.
Just note that this isn't a Semver compliant version in any form.
So mine might be, but
Another thing we could probably do is to do a fake merge from release branches into main. So merge that is just creates a parents two parents, but doesn't actually bring any changes from release version. Kind of a bit hacky, but it's probably going to give you what you want. I can try it locally.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't fully tested this idea.
But we have time, so this is mostly just concerning the main branches. So I can already introduce this sort of I pasted the format that like I am currently generating for the Ionic image, and I think this is Semver compliant. This one that I have sent. This is what the Git describe gives you. So it's your tag dash your distance, and then this G with the hash of the with the short hash of the last commit.
From a Semver perspective, dash something means pre-version. So this would mean that it's before 11.5.0, not after.
Oh, that's true. Well, then that won't be Semver compliant for sure.
Yeah,
But
it just as a note, it's something that I already struggled with in the past, like especially with end shots that mandates Semver compliant versions. So it's something that to be aware of is, well, Semver is not really happy with not having fixed tags, and like we do with following a source and the branch means we won't have anything Semver compliant easily if it's matter for anyone. And I know that some of the tool that do monitor CVs and so on, they sometimes make the assumption that Semver is in use when it looks like Semver, and so they may get in a weird situation if they are not aware of that.
Well, then I might make maybe one Semver compliant like a script that can generate this, because I'm just thinking that I could generate these into like a Semver compliant version if I just bump maybe the minor or the patch version for this, maybe the patch, and then they will be technically true, although that will result in potentially in versions that are like pre-release versions that get, but we won't have the corresponding release ever. meaning that, let's say, like in this example, something is 11.5.0, and then we are 5 commits on top of that, but I would bump it to 11.5.1, and then leave the rest of it as it is. But there is no guarantee that 11.5.1 will be ever released. But I guess that wouldn't be a problem from SamWeb perspective, right? If there is, like, if it stays like a pre-release version forever, like if there is no corresponding final release, just pre-release versions.
I don't think it's an issue, no.
Okay. Yeah, but anyhow, that's a good point. I will note this.
Adam, I pasted a comment that basically we can push a commit like this, and that will pull the tags without pulling any changes, because I'm using merge strategy hours, which essentially ignores everything on the other branch.
Okay.
Just as it locally seems to work, if we to play with that. But yeah, SamWeb compliance is a bit of a conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Good points all around. Thank you. Thank you. That's already very helpful. I guess there are no more discussions or comments, questions related to this, so we can go ahead with this review request from Nicholas. But I guess this was no, this is something that I haven't.
Yeah, this is kind of an old one, I would say, and it's been like I'm kind of taking those over, so I won't be putting any looks good to me or something on these PRs, because Marco is away for an extended period of time, so I'm kind of taking those over in the meantime. And this one looks like it's just all right and ready to be merged. So I was asking if there's anything blocking this, or if it's just waiting for another round of review.
I will take a look. I reviewed it a few times in the past, but there was always something missing, like the prerequisite PR, because this is part of a series of PRs, at least 3, right? That have been pushed, and then they have to go in order. But yeah, this now seems to be okay. Yeah, I will take a look, but I think it's LGTM from me, because I checked it a few times, but the tests were always complaining that there was always some rebase request or something. Okay. Any other requests related to this, or I don't know, anything else and then the question posted? I guess not. Okay, then
I probably will get back soon for the other PRs when, well, I will probably rebase them and so on if needed. But yeah, since I'm taking this over, I'll probably be a bit more pushy than Marco on those. But if there's anything on this, you ping me rather than Marco because he won't answer anytime soon.
yeah, thank you. It's good to know. Okay, then yeah, this review request topic posted. Yeah, when it comes to reviews, it's interesting because there is such, like, individually for everyone, that there is such a feature in GitHub. I'm using it where you see everything where you have review requests. Like, these have been now put into a little bit of highlight. In the past, this wasn't this nice. I had to use filters, but now it's automatically. Like, I was using filters in the past like this. These two are still my old filters, but
Yeah, for a person who actively working on reviews, it's probably not a big deal. But if you go on PTO, all these items may get abandoned.
yeah,
So I was thinking about something that, and judging by review requests we get on the meeting every time, and I was honestly going to add a few more items before this came to my mind. We probably need some central place where, okay, that's a stuff we think is ready for review. So please somebody take a look. In addition to personal review queues, which again, we have a few people who are not so active. We have people who go on PTO, but the automation doesn't know that. So I don't think it fully replaces something a dashboard.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you that a lot of people don't set themselves away for the bot, for the blunderbuss or whatever it's called, and
Is it
then
possible to do that?
yes, if you set yourself unavailable or away or something, I don't know what's the exact word that the GitHub is using. Yeah, set status something busy. Yeah, busy. If you set yourself busy, I think the blunderbuss shouldn't pick you up for review.
Okay, I was blissfully unaware that this feature exists in GitHub. We probably should, I don't know, make sure all maintainers know that because I definitely did not.
Yeah. That wasn't advertised. I didn't know for a long time until one time someone in the team mentioned that he is going on PTO, put himself too busy, so he is not expecting to get this because it's the busy itself is, it wouldn't do anything on GitHub, but this bot that we are using to assign the reviews, that is looking for your status. So,
Cool. I still think it's useful to have some place and maybe even go through it on these meetings briefly to see what new items we have. See,
yep, agree. This can be part of. I think that would be, if triaging usually takes a lot of time, but I would think that for the milestone, for the backlog, I think for that it would make sense because that might have an overlap with stuff that we want to get in for a release. So yeah, I will add it here.
yeah, should we just use milestones? Kind of is the message we're going to send be like, if you want to get a review, please add your change to the next milestone, and that will get reviewed at least bi-weekly. That's kind
Yeah,
of
that makes sense to me.
cool. Maybe send something like this to Metal3 mailing list because there's only a few of us here right now.
Yeah, sure. I will write it down.
Is there a way for non-members to add to like
To the
to
milestone?
to the milestone?
Yes,
So
of course.
is there a command for this? I don't remember.
Not commands. That's a good thing you are bringing up. So I don't know, because I have a lot of like access rights. I don't know how this works for you. If you could check it now, that would be helpful. But if I go on here on the right side and I click on milestone, it offers me the milestones for that repo, and I can select that, and it will be added to the milestone.
And if it's only
Is it
available to team members, we should just encourage people to become team members.
Yeah, I mean, being org member, it doesn't really take anything other than requesting it. There is no requirement, I think, for becoming org member or team member, or I think we call it org member.
Yeah, I guess just somebody has to approve you, so just reach out. I think it's a good to have this sort of barrier for people to make a conscious decision. Okay, I associate with this project, so I'm become a member, and now I can request reviews. And of course, if you see a person who provided a good review who is not a team member, you can just do the same for them.
Yeah.
Like if you see a good patch, it's past CI, it passed Copilot, just do that yourself.
Yeah. For example, I can even invite, and I think most of the maintainers can invite members. Or it might be just that the admins, but not sure. But a certain group of people can even invite. So I guess if you can't invite, you can just ping the person and say that please send the request. But people with higher privileges can even send an invite directly to that person.
I just
Okay,
checked,
so
and I don't think I can add milestones.
Then that's a bigger issue, in a sense that I know you are an org member, right? Yes, you are org member, and member. Okay, so this would be very granular to set for everyone. What is the read? Okay, I will look into this, and also I will look into Prau. Maybe Prau can do it. So things that we discussed here. So yes, request board is fine. It should be enough that if folks need review and think they are ready, then they would add PR to the milestone, and then we would check.
It looks like you need triage permission, not read permission.
Okay. And then Nicholas was saying, or member, but I can assign to milestone. This will be sorted out.
Maybe we can solve this using Pro.
Yeah. Is solved with a plugin.
Yeah, the nice upside is the plugin, for example, can verify the input. For example, only allow the most recent milestone so that people don't accidentally set the past milestone. That would be pretty handy.
Yes.
Maybe we even call it ready for review, and then whatever magic we decide, it always does do the right. Will always do the right thing.
I can sort out everything. I will send the mail with the list. I'm saying the new way of working. Okay, good, great. Okay, we can do this certainly. At least the dashboard we have for the milestones will get much more use. And maybe I have to a little bit better advertise those dashboards, because I don't think people are using those dashboards.
If that becomes a review dashboard, I'm definitely going to use it more often.
Yep. Okay, good. Any other comment, question, request, anything for the discussion topics? If not, then we have a few minutes to check the triage. We have a few, not that many. Let's see. All this. Start with newest rather. Okay, copy has been released. Yes, this was something that was 1 day late, I believe. No, yeah, no, it's just a beta. I will CC thing 40. You might have to start with the beta release. And I don't know, maybe even Arvin, because he's on the listing. Okay, next one. Check and fix failing markdown test. Where is this failing? Wasn't this? What's this? I think we sorted this out. This was when we had the problem. I think so.
No, we just reverted the markdown lint bump. So if we bump it again, that problem will come. I did the change for MetalCube docs where I just hunted down all these here links. Somebody has to, bump markdown locally and see where it breaks and fix these things. I do believe I've seen the patch for Capum 3. Maybe from Sonat. I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember the revert, but I guess this was generated when while we had that like broken state. I suspect from the date that's when he ran
Yeah,
into this issue. But
it looks like Adil has fixed that, but probably did not attach the backlink. So the pair has merged. It should be done. I can link it. Give me a second.
okay. Nice. Okay, and then it went into down closed. Yes. How did it go to down closed?
I use a close button.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you use the close
I
button.
have the powers.
Nice. Good. Issues. Okay. Detect image URL before including it in the provisioning failure. Huh. Because, oh, but why? We do have basic out for. Oh, I guess this is some use case where whatever server is hosting this is not using the RFC standard basic out, but this old school sort of this is sometimes called basic out. I've seen that some, in the past this was used with Ironic also, but this is not like the regular basic out as I understand when you put it into the name like this. This had also some weird name I remember, but it's not the RFC standard basic out.
I think it is basic out. In any case, a person can do that, and we probably should not log that. I mean, a person
Yeah.
should not be doing that whatsoever. Maybe we should just fix this bug by rejecting that on the webhook level. No, think about it. Maybe the correct way to fix it is to say on the webhook level, no, don't do this.
Yeah. I'm familiar with this way of using this. I still think this is like legacy basic code, but not the regular one. But anyways, yes. I guess then whenever we detect this at sign, we can redact whatever is before it. I don't know. That sounds fair to me. Anyways, I prove.
You mean to just accept it?
Yeah. Yes. Accepted.
By the way,
I will write.
have we ever got a proper field for passing credentials? Or does it only work for IronicConf?
It's only on Ironic level. For BMO for this mid server stuff we don't have it, but in Ironic I implemented like proper way of using the basic out.
I guess it would be cool to have it so bare metal host API, not as a global option. But that's a tangential topic.
Hmm. Not accepting. Oh, was it? Mm. Oh, now we can put it on this. Okay. A link checker. Which link checker is this? Probably this will be again. Yep, this is again full of false positives. Yeah, oh, okay, and I had already invalid on this. It doesn't matter. Okay, then basically that's all I would say. No, nothing else. Everything has been checked one time at least. Okay, and then quickly check the stale, and then we are done. Yeah, just link check. Great, great. Okay, so we are done with the triaging. 2 minutes over time, but still. Is there any question, comments, anything we should discuss with you folks? If not, then thanks for joining. Thanks for the great discussions, and let's meet the same time next week. Bye bye. Have a great week.
I guess, yeah.